Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, checking in on the MJ sector. Congrats to the Bulls, a green day, second one in a row. It's been a while since we've seen 2 green days in a row. Some names had increasing bull volume. Best case scenario, we'll look at who's stronger on the bounce, who is weaker on the bounce, and we will look to see where resistance stands. So again, from here, we're still looking for daily lower highs to be set on the vast majority of individual names, and we are then going to be looking at number 1, where do we top out? Number 2, what does consolidation look like after we top out? Can we see trend changes? And number 3, and most importantly for me, at least in the short term, is the S&P 500 going to be able to hold on to the August lows? Because if those August lows break and we enter the weekly downtrend in the S&P 500 for the first time in 10 months, you better believe that these bounces are going to be cut short a little bit. So that's something we'll take a look at as well. Good day for the market overall bouncing today. Need more follow through there, just like we saw follow through today. So I'm still holding my CGC position from yesterday. And the biggest reason why I'm still holding this position is because I've been traveling, which has been nice because it's kept me in this position. I didn't even watch the open today. Checked in an hour after the open, and we saw the hourly trend change on CGC, and that was what kept me confident. Said, all right, we saw the bull follow through, higher low, higher high. That'll keep me holding for now. Another higher low at 2203. Anything above 2203 is a higher low on the daily time frame. And I'm going to be looking to sell tomorrow. How can I already just blanket statement say that I'm going to be looking to sell my CGC position tomorrow without seeing how the day is going to go? Well, my answer is when I am in a downtrend and I have already seen a 14% bounce from the low, and the daily lower high is 2541, which is still another 8% away. That tells me that we are very likely to set a daily lower high and to lock in those gains playing counter the trend while I have them. So I will very happily take that profit. If we keep going, that's great. Congrats to the bulls that decide to keep holding, but I will patiently be waiting for another clear opportunity that I like, because I never intended to be holding this trade for more than just a couple day bounce for that daily lower high. Cron's bounce at this point closed at the high of the day. Anything under 997 is a lower high. So again, we can go 6% from here tomorrow and still be looking at a daily lower high being set. We must see daily trend changes into mid-October. ACB, very significant bull move. Big percentage day today, but anything under 492 is just a lower high. Solid volume marking this bottom. Hourly higher lows on everybody to be watching, and increasing bull volume into the end of the day is a good sign as well. Anything above 425 is just an hourly higher low. For Cron, anything above 903 is an hourly higher low, increasing bull volume into the end of the day as well. CGC, a little bit of increased bull volume. APHA, its bounce is much weaker than everybody else. It's just a glaring red flag, weaker than everybody. And the reason for that is we did not even break that high of yesterday. We pulled back first thing this morning. We established support at 507, and then we failed to break the high of yesterday. Same end of the day bull run that everybody saw, but from a much different starting point. And again, unable to break 542. At this point, we are definitely looking for a daily lower high to be set, and a bit disappointing for the APHA bulls. TLRY is a potential daily bear flag still. This is a weak bounce. We did break that high of yesterday, but just barely. And anything under 27.24 is a lower high. If this bounce tops out without seeing a move up over 26, we're going to call that a daily bear flag, and it'll be up to the bulls to prove to us that it is not a daily bear flag. VFF, solid bounce follow through. 939 is resistance from here. We got right up to that level. If we break that level, I would consider that breaking the daily lower highs. It's not a trend change. We still need the higher low and higher high for that to be clear, but it is starting to take out resistances, and the next one would be 964 after 939. Hourly higher low on VFF is 907 support from this afternoon. T-God is a daily bear flag bounce as well. No follow through, inability to break the high of yesterday. So another disappointing day here. Anything under 274 just a lower high on the daily. And I would say pretty much if we can't break 220, daily bear flag is absolutely in the conversation. Hexo, nice little follow through. Anything on the daily under 434 is just a lower high, but we've got the hourly uptrend to be watching, and 375 is support. And to wrap up the Canadian MJ sector, disappointing OGI bounce, bear flag on the daily. Anything under 435 is just a lower high and a much weaker bounce than other names. So very clearly, the names that did not break the high of yesterday, disappointing day, especially when you have names like CGC and APHA, or excuse me, CGC and ACB up between, 6 and 8% between the two. So nice follow through. Hourly uptrends. When we lose the hourly uptrend, that's the first indication our daily lower highs have been set. If we lose the hourly uptrend, to me, I say, okay, the tops of our bounces have been set. Now we look to see what consolidation looks like. Best case scenario for the bulls is to lose the hourly uptrend, have the bears get no follow through, and then see a solid recovery in the short term and continuation, because that's how you keep pressure on shorts. Is this a short squeeze? No. But if you were to see a loss of the hourly uptrend, and in that instance, bears are going to pile in looking for that daily lower high, you better believe that any bear that's covered in the last 2 days is waiting for another entry on that daily lower high. But if we lose the hourly uptrend, bears start to enter, little follow through as bulls are buying that short-term weakness, and then we get continuation. Anybody that enters bearish on that signal, which in the recent past has worked many times for the bears, would then be underwater. So again, at this point, are shorts underwater? Yes, some of them are, but not many. Anybody that entered short, pretty much looking at CGC, on this pullback from September 18th, how many days was that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 for our bottom. And pretty much if you entered bearish on 7 out of those 10 days, you're still in the green. So again, putting pressure on those shorts to cover means, number one, putting them in red positions, and that makes them uncomfortable. So still need more follow through, but we will take it. A big sigh of relief in a very brutally depressing sector before the last 2 days. So in the USMJ space now, I have ranked just visually. I didn't measure out the percentage moves, but visually looking at the candlesticks the last 2 days on this bounce, I put them together as the strongest to weakest comparative to each other. So for TRUL, increasing bull volume continuation, this is the textbook. When I was talking in the video yesterday, and I mentioned this 5 times yesterday as the ideal scenario, this is it. That is exactly what the bulls wanted to see, and 1285 is in the picture, and that would be a weekly trend change. When's the last time we've seen a USMJ play change its weekly trend? And I don't have that answer, but it's been a while. So low, high, higher, low, and looking for this weekly trend change. Monthly, holding that low. We're definitely going to be looking for a monthly lower high to form here, because anything under 2165 is that lower high, and we could bounce 50% from here and still be just looking at that lower high being set. But that weekly trend change will increase the odds. Again, it's always about probabilities. What are the probabilities that our bottom for 2019 has been set? If you break that resistance on TRUL, the probability that the 2019 low has been set will increase a good bit. So that is a very key 1285 resistance level. If you are not in TRUL and you are playing USMJ names, you want it to break that resistance, because any vote of confidence in the sector, even if it's not in your individual name, is going to help. And that's why it's so frustrating to see social media, both in the crypto space and in the MJ space. Yes, it's important to know fundamentals and to debate things, but bashing names because you're not in them and you don't like them as much as the name that you're in, it's counterproductive and you're only hurting yourself. So, you see someone choosing ACB over APHA and then bashing APHA. You want APHA to perform well because that's only going to make ACB look good as well in terms of the sector, giving the bulls confidence to return. So TRUL hourly has not changed the trend yet. We are very overextended. There are absolutely no bullish entries up at these levels. At a bare minimum, we need to see hourly consolidation. And I would say best case for the bulls, aside from just blowing through 1285 tomorrow, would be an hourly bull flag and then blowing through 1285 to establish a support level first. CURA, very nice follow through, increase in bull volume. So we had that fluke end of the day candlestick yesterday. The bulls picked up right where they left off. This is a bit more confidence building. If I'm in a position right now on TRUL, I'm a little bit more cautious and looking to take profit a little bit more than I would be if I'm in Cura, because Cura has a clear support level, 871. I can say, all right, if we break 871, that's a clear momentum shift. Whereas we don't have that on TRUL, our first hourly consolidation could potentially pull back 5% for all we know, whereas we already have that gauge of what consolidation looks like. And for Cureleaf, that's an hourly bull flag. Didn't confirm at the end of the day, but the bulls are going to try and confirm that first thing tomorrow. MedMen increasing bull volume, taking out resistance levels. This is putting pressure on shorts. Don't know how many shorts there are in MedMen. There's certainly less than on the major traded names that are on the NASDAQ and the NYSE. But again, just looking at this, and you can say anybody that entered MedMen short and bearish from this 9-day period is underwater. So 9 days of any bearish being underwater versus 2 or 3 days, that's a big difference. So have we changed the hourly trend? No, we're very overextended. We need to consolidate on the hourly. If we start green tomorrow on these names that have not consolidated on their hourly, MedMen and TRUL, I would anticipate hourly consolidation after the first 15, 20-minute push to the upside. So MedMen still has to change its daily trend with a higher low and higher high, but there's tons of space for the bulls to work with to establish a daily higher low at this point. GTII, also one more thing I want to note is that shares are becoming free trading in some of these names. Cureleaf has one upcoming. Just be aware that the market is completely aware of that. And while it may not be fully priced in this moment, it is being priced in a large degree. And everybody being aware of that and sharing that information is a large reason for that. So GTII, nice. Good announcement by Cureleaf. Only going to help with that Momo. 100,000 shares, $800,000 investment. Good sign. Good news. So GTII. I probably should post that. I'll be right back. So getting back to it, GTII. Why is GTII here and not out front? Volume. We had the volume drop off. Nice solid green day. Nice follow through, especially after that big green day. But not increasing bull volume. So slightly less bullish than the names that had increasing bull volume. Hourly time frame, little stair steps on the way up. Short-term support is 1239, 1272 is resistance. And looking at the weekly time frame, there's another one here where we could potentially see a weekly trend change. We did hold a higher low on the weekly. We have to break 1445. That's still a ways away, but closer to changing the weekly trend than a lot of other USMJ names. Just remember, close is not good enough. APHA was close. And look what happened to APHA. After being close, it gave it all back. We were real close, and from that point of being close, we dropped down 30% in a month. Close doesn't cut it. But bulls have a chance. OH, nice little follow through. So again, OH and CL, there's still a discount on OH right now, and I don't have the number off the top of my head as to the conversion price, but you have to have the logic. The closer we get towards the final closing date, and at this point we're probably, 20 days away or so, the more the logic is, why would I buy CL instead of OH? There's discount in OH, and more people are going to have that same logic as well. So OH has resistance approaching of 663. We closed strong. The hourly support level to be watching is at 596. Anything above that's a higher low. But again, still just looking for a daily lower high. Some of these other bounces, like TRUL, like Cureleaf, they're taking out resistances on the daily as well. But a name like OH, solid bounce, but we have not taken out daily resistance levels. And on the weekend videos, I'll do a comparative percentage bounces to see how much we bounced from the low to the high and how we closed the week. CL, so again, weaker. Resistance is 851. Hourly support established at 798. IAN, it could still be a bear flag. I don't think it will be because the sector has seen so much strength, but again, not a very notable follow-through day today. So anything on the daily chart under 257 is a lower high. We can go 20% from here and still set a daily lower high. We have daily exponential resistances to be watching. Hourly support is 192. And on a name that's this beat up, we definitely need a lot more convincing action if we're going to be looking for a temporary bottom to be set. So just not a close at the high of the day. We saw a little surge right at the end of the day, but gave some of that back. And again, just looking for that daily lower high. CWeb, same thing. Closed near the low, upper wick of profit taking. Anything under 2026, just a daily lower high. So bears still fairly comfortable at this point. And let's go back to IAN. Pretty much only bears that have entered in the last two and a third of trading days are underwater right now. If anybody entered bearish at any point in September, they're still very comfortable at this point. Any point aside from those 3 days. So again, that's just the psychology. Put yourself in a bearish position. I have not ever traded a USMJ name bearish in my life, and I doubt I ever will. Maybe when they're uplisted I will. But if I were a bear, how would I be feeling? That's what I'm always doing. I'm looking at the opposing side and imagining if I had positions when I'm imagining what to anticipate as far as the psychology of the trading setup. So CWeb, not strong, and HARV, not strong. So HARV could be a bear flag. CWeb, I don't think it's a bear flag, a little bit too much of a bounce. But anything on the daily under 528 is a lower high on HARV. And if any name breaks the low of today, tomorrow, big red flag. So that's where we stand in the sector as a whole. We'll get into a little bit more detailed look over the weekend when we separate names into the Canadian and the US space. Going to have some new end of the video content this weekend as I edit some of the footage from this trip. Now back home from New England. It was a great time. Lots of friends and family after growing up there. And I'll see you all soon. Do good things. Congrats again to the Bulls. Be protective. Establish your game plan. Are you going to sell on this bounce? Are you going to place a stop loss and try and hold for a daily high or low and try and hold through a trend change? These are questions that should already be answered at this point, but if they aren't, right now is the time to answer them.
Oh, I just saw a dragonfly snatch a moth out of the air.
Nice.
And he has him right now. See him? That is nuts.
That one?
So yeah, the one